So good Mountainshire beds and books today, and we are here with our animal cam, our 2 o'clock slot, and today we have a creature that has something in common with the great old British takeaway fish and chips. And the creature we've got today is a mini beast. The mini beast lives in this enclosure. To zoom out just slightly so you can see the enclosure. So the mini beast, I posted a photo earlier, and hopefully you'll have had a chance to see it, but we're going to see him live now. So let's go and meet Vinnie Jones. Vinnie is something called a Vinegaroon, and I'm just going to show you how we spell Vinegaroon. Here we go. So Vinegaroon, if I cover up that part of it, you can see that we spell the word vinegar. And I'm going to come on to that in a minute. So let's go and meet the creature, shall we? So Vinnie lives in this sort of tank here that tries to replicate where he is from. So he is just going to move some of his enrichment so we can get to find him more easily. Vinnie comes from tropical regions where he would live on the forest floor and he would be hiding somewhere. So he's obviously hiding today. Under this tunnel here. Should we have a little peek under there, see if he's under there? Are you under there, Vinnie? No. This is his second favourite hiding place in there, so he's not there. So I know where he's definitely going to be then. He's going to be under this cork hide here. Let's have a little peek for him. We can see his cricket there, his supper. He's there. There he is. Hi, Vinnie. So this is a Vinegaroon. Move him out. Oh, he's on the move already, which is great. I'm going to move him into a tank where I've put some kitchen roll in, actually, so we can see him in his full glory. But he is from the arachnid family, meaning, therefore, let's have a scoop out of you there, Vinnie. Get rid of that cricket, hopefully, too. Look, that's jumped on the hand. There we go. Let's pop him in there. There we go, Vinnie. So get rid of that cricket for a minute. There we go. Adapted and modified, and they are now used as like antennae. If you watch the way that he walks, he comes out at night and he uses these feelers to sort of find his way around, really, but also to catch his prey. His prey is technically a meat-eating animal, so a carnivore, but more technically an insectivore. He eats other insects, like we saw with the cricket. So what he actually does, as you can see him moving around there, he taps his prey with the sort of right antennae. That sort of makes it skitter a little bit. He taps it with the left, and hopefully it'll get very confused and head towards his mouth parts. Now what we can see in front are like little pincers. If I try and zoom in a little bit on those pincers, you can see that they're a bit like claws. We call them pedipalps. Now he actually can't harm you with those claw-like things. Very similar looking to a lobster, isn't it, really? But he uses those, and he uses them to grab his prey and to technically cut it up. So he can eat things that are actually quite large. If I was to show you, if I can find that cricket again in a minute, actually quite large for the size of him. So he sort of cuts his prey up once he's caught it, and then he actually eats the insect's juices, which sounds really gory, but there we go. So let's think, what does he have in common with fish and chips? Well, this is actually quite a funny part. So he has got, if we have a look a bit more to his anatomy first, he's got what we call an exoskeleton, meaning, of course, he's got this outside skeleton. and his outside skeleton is this ridged body. It's like this, look, exoskeletons, and he's got what we call segmented limbs. So we've still not covered what he has in common with fish and chips. So the reason that we call him a vinegaroon, and if we go back to that word again, look, vinegaroon, and we look at it, if we take the oon off the end, we can see that it spells vinegar. So Vinnie, to keep himself safe, has a very special tool. Out of his bottom end here, he has some little kind of pistols, if you like, little squirty devices. And if something comes too close, so the sorts of things that would eat him would be maybe a raccoon or a lizard, something that likes chomping on his hard skeleton, really, his exoskeleton. And what he would do is he would target and squirt his vinegar out of his bottom. So not exactly this stuff, but not too dissimilar. This is malt vinegar. This little fella, he actually squirts a type of vinegar, acetic acid, that's 15 times stronger than the sorts of vinegar you put on your fish and chips. And he squirts it from this bottom end here. And he would do that on purpose, obviously. He would try and squirt it in the lizard's eyes if he could. So let's have a little look at the way he walks. It's absolutely great, isn't it? Now, vinegaroons are a really ancient species, although not many people have seen them before. Some people seem to mistake them for scorpions. These were actually found in fossils 100 million years before the dinosaurs, which is absolutely amazing. But what I'm just going to show you is the difference between him and a scorpion. So although he looks scorpion-like, and some people actually call them whip scorpions, they call them whip scorpions because of this little thing on the tail looks like a little whip. But if I was to show you a scorpion, if I just move quickly into this tank here and see if Rocky's there. Yeah, Rocky's there, look. So he's very similar to Rocky. We're not going to stay focused on Rocky because Claire from Lion Learners East Anglia did a scorpion the other day. But you can see the scorpion's stinger on his tail. And then if we come back to our Vinnie, you can see why people think that he looks a bit like a scorpion. Look, you can see he's actually dug out, if I can get that angled, he's actually dug out a little scrape for himself. This is all hollowed out here, look. So he spends his day hiding from predators and hiding under leaf litter. On a very moist, humid forest floor he'd live. And then he comes out at night and hunts himself. And again, hopes to keep himself safe by that spraying technique. But the other reason he's got these beautiful feelers on the front is his eyesight is dreadful. So he's actually got 8 eyes. He's got 2 on the top of his head. We've no hope of seeing them really because they're so small, which is why they don't function very well at all. And then he's got 3 either side of his head. But he really gets around more through the sense of touch. I'm actually going to have a go at picking him up a minute. You can see and hold the camera at the same time, so you can get a better sense of scale for the little fella. Just need to watch I don't drop him. I'll hold him very low to the bottom of his tank. He'll probably walk straight off again. He's a really friendly chap, actually. Although they can, of course, squirt acetic acid, and somehow holding him, Vinnie, I've had never even squirted anything, let alone sort of had a go at me. So Vinnie would tend to eat things like the crickets that you saw. And he also likes, I put in small cockroaches for him. The crickets are sometimes a little bit quick. And he's so clumsy the way he moves about. He doesn't really catch very much. And when I first had the little fella, I was actually fairly worried for him that he didn't seem to be eating. They eat so infrequently, perhaps 1 insect a month. I don't know whether that's by choice because they're not very, probably more to do with the fact that he just can't catch them. But when he does catch them, it's actually quite a sight. You tell in the bottom of the tank, and you know then he's had a good feed on it. So this fella then is not at all venomous, not like the scorpion. If that stung you, that would be quite painful. So if we do a little quick summary then, he's a vinegaroon and he's from Asia. Lives in a tropical rainforest type region. and lives on the forest floor in little burrows and scrapes, and sometimes underground. He would go underground to shed his skeleton because all arachnid type animals and insects shed their outer skeleton. So he'd go underground for the moisture to help shed his skeleton. He's never done that with me yet. And he has that linked to fish and chips because we put vinegar on our fish and chips and it's not the same type of vinegar, but he keeps himself safe by squirting vinegar in the eyes of anything that dare come to try and eat him. So that's it today from Lion Learners Northamptonshire and from the gorgeous Vinnie Jones, the Vinegaroon. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock you have Kristen Harness from Lion Learners East Midlands, and she has got loads of spiny animals for you tomorrow. So you'll have to tune in at 2 o'clock to see lots of spiny animals with Kristen. So we are going to pop Vinnie back to stay safe. If you're out there, everybody, and watching, stay safe. Bye-bye. Bye, Vinnie.